Scotland stood on the edge of chaos. It was May 10th, 1291, and the throne was empty. King Alexander III had died suddenly, and with no clear heir, the kingdom teetered on the brink of civil war. Rival nobles sharpened blades and ambitions, each one dreaming of the crown. Into this void stepped Edward I of England, a king with an iron will and imperial dreams. The Scots, desperate to avoid bloodshed, turned to him not as a conqueror, but as an arbitrator. They believed he would keep the peace. Instead, they opened the gates to domination. That day, several Scottish nobles acknowledged Edward as their feudal overlord, hoping he would fairly decide who should be king. It was a fateful miscalculation. In trying to preserve unity, they handed Edward the very keys to Scotland's sovereignty. Edward accepted the role with regal satisfaction, but he had no intention of being a neutral judge. To him, this was the first step toward absorbing Scotland into his growing empire. What began as mediation quickly became manipulation. Edward delayed decisions, installed his own judges, and treated Scottish leaders as vassals, not allies. The proud nation that had fiercely guarded its independence for centuries found itself bound by foreign chains. The Scots began to realize they hadn't just invited arbitration, they'd invited occupation. Edward's banners flew higher, his soldiers lingered longer, his grip tightened like a vice. But the spirit of Scotland was not easily crushed. From these betrayals rose whispers of rebellion, and soon, legends like William Wallace and Robert the Bruce would rise from the ashes of political games. The acknowledgement of Edward wasn't just a political error, it was the spark that ignited the wars of Scottish independence. A bloody struggle that would last for generations. What happened on May 10th, 1291, wasn't just a legal formality. It was a quiet surrender, one that would cost Scotland dearly in blood, betrayal, and defiance. And yet, from that moment of submission would emerge a new chapter of resistance, one carved into stone and sword, echoing through Scotland's mountains and memory.